Welcome back from the break. We're here at the Sheraton Kapal Hotel, and in case you've just joined us, this is your favorite show, men, and we are talking about staying single and not free to mingle. Just before we went into the break, Julius, I cut you short.
The way we handle our feelings, I was disappointed. When I tried to settle down to enter into a relationship, I went to Hoima, I paid my dowry during the day, I was giving out the lady. I came back here, I arranged my wedding. Then all of a sudden it was stopped at the church, at the altar. It stopped from nowhere. Up to now, I've never known what happened. I've never gotten the communication what happened. I said, what is all the problem? In that embarrassment and whatever.
Oh, you were talking about the woman who didn't show, the one who didn't come.
Exactly. In that embarrassment, I said, I will never get married. I will never get married. But then I used to associate with married people. So it started affecting me. You know, they are talking about their family, they are talking about their wives and whatever. I said, let me go for a relationship. But I realized that I was torturing my life. I was torturing my feelings. So if you ask me how I used to control it, then that's a funny case. So I think, like I said, it sounds very abnormal, it sounds very awkward, it is funny that a man of my caliber, a man of 30, 40, that you are staying single, and how single anyway?
and this is what I was saying. I am not saying that we shouldn't get married, because you quoted from the Bible the very same Paul who said that instead of going around sleeping around, marry, is the very same one who said you rather not get married, especially for him because he was sold to preaching the gospel. Same Bible, same guy who is saying rather than, but if you can't handle being single, marry. That's the point. So let me finish. No, let me finish. So here's the thing. There are people, and why I'm so stuck on this, and yet I said I am all for marriage. I think that everyone should get married if they even dream it, or think it, or imagine it, or sniff it. They should get married. But what I'm saying is that there are some people in our society and in the global society who are single and they are happy. And we should not make them feel terrible because they aren't in a relationship. That's all I'm saying.
Peter.
People with great...
How would you tell
somebody's happy?
How would you tell that somebody's happy?
How would you tell that somebody's happy?
How would you tell he's happy? A rebuttal to Chris. Yeah. People with great commissionings, guys who feel like the world is on their shoulders, those people don't count, because the people we're talking to, ordinary guys who are trying to get by, pay the rent, get by, get food, they don't feel the burden of Paul or the issues that all these other great people are talking about. I mean, they don't feel like the pressure of Jesus. I'm here to redeem the world from all the sins. Like Mukasa's sins. Can you imagine having to redeem Mukasa of his sins and also think about a wife? It doesn't count. I think that people with great commissionings, people with great ambition, those guys, I mean, if you are, for example, even the Pope, because it's a great commissioning, he sees his service as something that's greater than his life. These are people who are willing to die for what they believe in. Therefore, they're not living ordinary lives. But when you talk about an ordinary person, a guy who's living our day-to-day life, yes, they may be single, but it is not because what they believe is greater than their life. It's fear to get out there.
So we have a license to be ordinary.
No, this is not a sermon.
It's not. Absolutely, I agree.
I think we are derailing the discussion here.
Yeah.
It seems to be, can you live happily unmarried? That's what we seem to be arguing about just now. As in, having no companion in your life. Right. And for marriage, I respect marriage. I believe everyone should have a companion. I believe marriage does things to you. I respect the institution. But only when you're ready for it. Or when you've met that person who can be your companion. Not just...
for the family.
Yeah, because me, I'm more interested in a happy relationship than just a relationship for the sake of the relationship.
So are you saying there are benefits to being single?
Yeah, you can hit on
what's their benefits? What's their benefits?
Yeah, like what?
Single people
no one is asking you questions. And everyone, I'll tell you, in a relationship, will tell you it can be one of those things that will piss you off. Your car dies in the middle of the night. and then you come home late, and then someone asks you where you're coming from.
But when you talk
it's a valid question.
When you talk of benefits,
Yeah.
then I seem not to understand you. Most of the people who are in a single life, they either fear responsibility.
No, let him
Yes.
finish. Let him finish.
Yes.
Let him finish.
They either fear responsibility because you see what he's saying, that your car gets cracked down maybe in the night, then you're going home, you'll be questioned, or maybe you come when you're whatever, those things. But then, you miss it really, because I don't imagine.
But I'll make
You know why I let you speak, okay? Because everything, there's very few things in this world that do not have benefits. It's you who overlooks them or who decides those are not the benefits that I'm looking for. Even single life. I mean, what are you saying? That everyone who is single is what now?
Yeah, but look at it this way. You know, there's some research I did, and I find it surprising that Joseph has mentioned that. I think it clearly shows that you're single, because said most single men were asked why they prefer to be single, and the main thing that came up was having to answer to somebody. So, my question is, because that was the first thing that came up. Is that just an excuse, as Julius mentioned? Is it just because you're selfish? You say, I don't want to share. I don't want to share with kids. I don't want to share with my wife. I don't have my life. My money's mine. My everything is mine. So sharing is an issue. Or is it just that, you know what, I can't deal with the pressure? Because also, being a father, I know raising kids is very, very expensive, you know, especially in this day and age. Would you then rather somebody says, I don't have the financial capacity to do it, let me just stay single, and if I never ever get the financial capacity, let me just be on.
To answer your question, I'll take you back to a few things that I've said before. I've said on this show that I like some control from my woman. Is that someone who fears responsibility? Is that someone who fears to be asked questions? No. You see, the assumption we are making here is that everyone is single as a result of choice. Okay? Not necessarily true, but also if we put people
actually, it's a choice. It is a choice.
No,
let's say it can be a choice. Not that it's a choice. It's not always a choice. It can be a choice. And even for those people, they have their reasons. And that choice could be temporary. It may not be permanent. So these are all considerations. If we just lump them together, that because someone is single, then there has to be a problem. One, we are risking putting people under pressure simply because, when they get out of one relationship, they have to get into another. That is one of the reasons people stay in abusive relationships, because they are afraid of the unknown.
If they get out, then what? What will
Yeah,
they?
what
The people who have never
happen
been
in-
single their whole life, from
Yeah.
the time they started dating at 15 or 18,
Yeah.
they've not been single the rest
And,
of their lives.
and some of those people
So it's a
are
choice.
lucky.
We agree, it's a choice.
No. Some of those people are lucky that when you walk out of this relationship, you can walk into another happy relationship or something that you can make work. Other things, for other people, it does not happen like that. They can be single for a while and then they meet another person.
Just add on what Joseph has said.
Before we leave Joseph, I just want to understand, how is it not a choice? How can you be single not by choice?
If the person you are loving
what
dies.
happens? Someone walks out of your life, what? Another one walks in?
Do you look for somebody else? So it's a choice.
And why you're looking,
You are
so
still in
why
a
you're
relationship
looking,
with
what
the
is
other
happening?
person. You didn't leave them. They walked out and went.
So while you're looking, you're what? You're still married? You're still in a relationship?
So it's your choice.
And how long does this take?
But
and how about you don't have to
You
move?
see,
But those are the things.
when we are starting, I asked the question just under what circumstances?
No more circumstances.
Let's go back to his point of a choice. I do not think that there is anyone who can choose to be single by a choice.
There is.
Oh,
And that's the
no.
point I'm making.
It is either there is a problem.
The most unsingle guy here.
No.
The most happily married guy here.
No,
You are saying-
let me tell you, there is a choice. There is a choice you are talking about, but which is not actually a real choice.
So here, Peter, for me, I want to be on record,
Yes.
and I want this to be clear, without any noises.
Yeah.
I am all for marriage.
Yeah.
I think marriage is great. I'm married. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
That has to be very clear. I wish it for everybody. Okay. But I also want us to be very clear on the fact that there are people who are single, whatever the reasons are, and are happy. Because happiness is not something, getting married does not guarantee that you're procuring happiness. Sad to say, there are some very unhappy people in marriages. We know that.
Or even in relationships.
Right? Or even in relationships. We know that. So I would not want us to sit here on national TV and tell someone who's done us the good favor of lending us their time and being in this conversation with us, that it's terrible for them to be single and they have no chance of being happy because they're single.
Wait.
Because what that does to people is they look themselves in the mirror and say, look, there's something wrong with me. I'm single. I'm supposed to be married because otherwise I'm unhappy.
Because Peter Igaga said.
What I'm saying is there are some people who are not like me.
Wait, I want to just introduce a new angle on this singleness. There is, and it's happening in our town. There are people called hunters. Peter, we're talking about this. There's a new breed of people in this town. They are purposely single so they can prey on others. So singleness it can be used defensively, as Joseph is saying. Someone walks out of your life, you get bereaved, someone dies, you're single, you decide, I won't get into this thing again, you get heartbroken. That has very defensive purposes. It's to protect you, it's to shield you, to give you time to heal. But there's the offensive end of this thing, which is what hunters and players use. Guys perpetually single. So dude, you get like 38, like, so dude, what's happening? Like, no, I'm single. But just like all the time, it's just preying on people's.
Call in before we make a mistake here.
No. I've said some people.
We're going to come back to you before we
talk to the hyena.
Yes, I should say that. Now we're here at the Sheraton Kampala Hotel talking about being single and happy. Is it really something that can be done? Or, if I may use Chris's term, is anybody being condemned? We'll be right back after the break.